All right, how y'all doing? Ugh. All right, today we are going to be looking at Trump's big, beautiful bill. Not the whole bill, that would take forever. And we're not even getting into depth too much about the bill. We're just going to look at one little teeny part about Medicaid. As you can see here, this is the Medicaid section, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of stuff here. All of this stuff. I mean, there's a lot of changes. A lot of changes, right? A lot of changes being made to Medicaid. um, and basically, this gives us a little description of what it all is. It's supposed to reduce fraud and improve enrollment processes. So what that means is they think there's a lot of um, people abusing the system, and they want to add more checks to see if this person should be there. And they also add more requirements, like you have to work 80 hours a month, I believe, or you have to work 80 hours or community service for 80 hours to qualify. And they add these qualifiers for you to be able to be on Medicaid. So in a result, that will lead to a lot of people not being on Medicaid anymore, just because they either won't be able to follow the new instructions, new mandates, or they'll just not be able to keep up, and they will lose their health care. Now, you say, oh, well, they should follow the instructions. Yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, they should, and I hope they do. Because, healthcare is important. So you should, if it's just instructions you got to follow and you should. But if you can't, maybe you are really, really sick or something, or I don't know. It could be a lot of situations. I really wouldn't know. I'm not really here to debate that. I just wanted to see the impact, the potential impact this could cause. I want to see if how many people will die because of this decision. All right, because we can break it down. People who lose their coverage, and then people who are without health care and who are at risk, how many of them die? Right? We're going to look at that by demographic. Believe it or not, numbers may shock you, right? So you have to think about what this bill is doing. According to the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, or something like that, they basically review bills for Congress, and they came up with this statement here that they think these policies and already some baseline policies will result in 16 million people without health care in 2034. It would increase. It would increase it by 16 million. So what is that? 9 years, 16 million in 9 years. I mean, it's a little under 2 million a year without healthcare. I mean, that's a massive number. So we're going to calculate these numbers of 16 million without healthcare, and we're going to see how that spreads across the demographics. Now, we got to switch to. I can add this right here. Bam. Boom. Perfect. As you see here, it's a chart of the demographics. White, black, American Indian, right? White, 198 million people, right, that identify as white, not Hispanic, just white only. We got 66 million Latino. Okay, so we got Latino, Hispanic, um, Asian. I mean, got all the races here, right? Um, Black 46 million, Asian 21 million, 10 million mixed people, 1 million native Hawaiian, 4 million American Indian. And these are the poverty rates. White people have the lowest poverty rate of 9.8%. Black people have the highest at 20.8%. American Indian at 20.6%. Asian right next to white at 9.9%. And you ask where I got these numbers. I went to the census websites, United States Census. This is a government website. And we can look here at the poverty rates. White alone 9.8, Asian 9.9, African American 20.8, 20.6 here. You can see them. This is where I got the numbers from, and I'll show you where I got the other numbers for these as well. Um, so if you calculate this, so 46 million times 20.8%, that would be 9 million African Americans, Black people under the poverty limit, right, or below poverty, or in poverty, whatever. But even and then the white people were about 19 million people in poverty. American Indians about 900,000. Asian 2 million. Latino about 11 million here in poverty, right? So we want to see. I want to see because obviously people with people in poverty that lose their health care. I mean, it's a lot more devastating than people with just a little bit more money, right? You just have a. I'm not saying it's not good for either of them, right? But obviously it's worse for the person with less money. So these people are really at risk of death. Because in a capitalistic society without capital, you die. So Latino, Hispanic, 11 million. And then these are the Medicaid rates, right? So there's some interesting things here. I was surprised that 37% of Medicaid is used by white people, 19% from Black, 23% from Latino, 4% Asian, and the rest are just like 1%. So really, this is going to affect white people the most because they have 73 million people on Medicaid, 8 million Black people on Medicaid, 15 million Latino on Medicaid, and about 870,000 Asians on Medicaid. So there's an interesting ratio there of the lowest poverty rate, but yet the highest Medicaid usage. Anyways, so the Medicaid cut. So, oh yeah, I got these Medicaid numbers from the, yeah, and that's where I got these numbers from. KFF, or is this Kaiser related? Hope it is. Anyways, and this is from 2021. So numbers may, and also, yeah, these numbers may fluctuate. They're not perfect. And this is not perfect math. These aren't exact. These are all estimates. But you can get a general idea of more and less, for sure. So there's 73 million people, white people on Medicaid, 8 million Black people, 15 million Latino, Hispanic. I mean, so now we're going to really see who this affects because according to, and this is not going to be per year actually. This is just like loss potential. Okay, so 16 million, right, should be without Medicaid in the year 2034. So if it was an even distribution, which we know it may not be, it may not be an even distribution. So this is all estimates. This is all guessing. But that'll be 5 million people, white people off Medicaid, 3 million Black people off Medicaid, 3 million Latino off Medicaid. You see the numbers here. Now, of these numbers, people who are at risk are about 75%. So that means those are like people who are maybe older, they need it, like they have chronic illness, and without it, it will be debilitating. And that'll be 4 million white people, 2 million black people, 2 million Latinos, and of those numbers, a conservative estimate, for every 300 people without healthcare insurance who are at risk, one dies. So that would be 14,000 white people would die from this bill. 7,600 black people would die from this bill. About 400 American Indians, 1,600 Asians, 400 Native Hawaiians, um, 400 mixed race, around 9,200 Hispanics. So, in all, we can look at a nice little chart here. 43% of the deaths would be white, but 26% will be Latino, and 22% black. So, I guess if you add this pie together, 43%. So that means if 43% of deaths are white, then that means 57% of the deaths are going to be minorities. So take that for what it is. Take that for what it is. And obviously, these numbers aren't perfect. These are just rough guesstimates. They could be higher, they could be lower. Maybe it's not 16 million. Maybe it's less. Maybe it's more. Who knows? But um, numbers are a little bit eye opening to see who this truly affects and see how this all works out. But tell me what you think. Leave a comment.